Aided by a strong economy, Trump approval rises, but a majority also see him as unpresidential. Aided by a strong economy and perceptions that he has dealt with it effectively, President Trump's approval rating has risen to the highest point of his presidency, though a slight majority of Americans continue to say they disapprove of his performance in office, according to a. The survey highlights the degree to which Trump has a narrow but real path to re-election. Trump's approval rating among voting-age Americans stands at 44%, edging up from 39% in April, with 53% saying they disapprove of him. Among registered, more than a year before the general election and long before the Democrats will select their nominee, the 2020 contest is playing out against the backdrop of an electorate deeply divided over the president, with a small percentage of registered voters up for grabs. Both Democrats. The survey highlights significant differences between women and men in their candidate preference, a continuation of a trend that has been evident throughout Trump's presidency. Those gender differences. The economy is the lone issue in the survey where Trump enjoys positive numbers, with 51% saying they approve of the way he has dealt with issues. A smaller 40%. When asked the same question in a January 2018 survey, a smaller 38% of Americans gave him credit for the economy while 56% said he deserved little or none. In that 28, on the 8 other issues measured, Trump gets negative ratings, ranging from a net negative of 7 points on taxes to a net negative of 33 points on climate change. More than half of all. The survey was conducted while Trump was attending a meeting of world leaders in Japan, where trade tensions with China were eased. He later met with The survey matched Trump against 5 possible Democratic nominees. Biden, Senators. Bernie Sanders. Among registered voters, only Biden emerges with a clear advantage, leading Trump by 53% to 43%. Trump runs among the broader pool of voting-age adults. All 5 Democrats hold at least a slight advantage over Trump. Trump and Republicans are trying to attach the label of socialist to all the Democrats. Asked a generic, across the 5 matchups against named possible Democratic nominees, 41% of registered voters always choose the Democrat, and 40% always choose the president. Meanwhile, Trump's hardcore base includes 21% of registered voters who support him against any of the 5 possible Democratic challengers tested and who say it is extremely important that he be re-elected. That rises to third. A rate against Trump are 36% of registered voters who never support Trump in the matchups and say it is extremely important that the president not win a second term. That rises to 4. Biden's lead over Trump is built in part on stronger support among independent voters and among self-identified moderates. He enjoys a 7. Gender and education are clear fault lines in the electorate as voters think about 2020 choices. Trump wins majority support among white voters, but he does far better with those who do not have college degrees than those who do, a pattern that emerged strongly in the 2016 election and continues to define the political divisions today. Non-white voters. There is also a strong urban-rural split, with potential Democratic challengers enjoying big margins among urban voters and Trump holding sizable margins among those who live in rural and small-town areas. As what happened in 2016, the geographic battle in 2020 will center on the suburbs. Indiana. The head-to-head comparisons, Biden leads slightly among suburban voters. Trump is competitive. Overall, the top issues for Americans as the 2020 election nears are the economy, healthcare, and immigration. Foreign policy. Republicans and Democrats diverge on which issues they would list as one of the single most important in influencing their vote. For example, in the area of health care, the cost of coverage and treatment ranks as a serious concern, with 71% of Americans saying they are worried about this, including 45% who say they are very worried. A slight majority, 52% of Americans, say they would favor a universal health care system run by the government and funded by taxes over the current system. But when asked whether, as Congress prepares for testimony by former Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller III about his investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election and related matters, the survey shows a clear majority of Americans continue to oppose impeachment proceedings. The new poll finds 59% of Americans saying the House should not begin such proceedings, including 46% who strongly oppose such a move. That is a slight a 61% majority of Democrats support impeaching Trump, including 49% who support doing so strongly, reflecting the cross pressures hitting both the presidential candidates and members of Congress. This was conducted by telephone from June 28 through July 1 among a random national sample of 1,008 adults, with 65% reached on cell phones and 35% on landlines. Results from the full. Scott Clement contributed to this report.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.